Hi everyone, welcome. So today we are doing root tip squash for mitosis. So we're looking this is a root from the allium garlic family. We are looking to stain and squash the root to see the cells that are undergoing mitosis. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is cut off a small section. Well, now what we don't want is we don't want the very end. If we can see this in focus. We want the next bit down, okay? So we cut off the tip, and then use 6 to 8 millimeters, and we're going to transfer this to a watch glass, which I've done here. And what I've added is I've began to add the stain. So we need to add acidified stain for this one. So we need to add orcine, and then we need to add hydrochloric acid. Okay, so I've added 2 drops of each to this. I'm now going to put it on the watch plate, the hot plate, sorry. Okay, so we want to heat it, but we don't want it to boil. And what we eventually want it to look like is it will look like this one with the sample in the middle that's all dried. What I then did was transferred that to a microscope slide. Okay, which I've got here. So I transferred it to a microscope slide. I added 1 more drop of stain, and then I blotted using this tissue. I blotted the edges of the slide around the cover slip to make sure there was no excess. Okay, we then put it under the microscope. Okay, a couple of things about microscopes. So the first thing we do is I've started on the 4 lens, and I've already had a look at the 4 objective lens. Now your eyepiece is normally 10 up here. Okay, so what we do when we use the microscopes, we always put it to the top as we're looking at it. Okay, so we go as close to the slide as we can, and then when you're looking in the eyepiece, you would only ever roll it down. Okay, the reason for that is we get a lot of cracked slides otherwise. Okay, and what we should see, okay, is you should see, I always say it looks like pink bricks in a wall. Okay, so you should see this is the times 10. So you can see the pink bricks in a wall because plant cells are obviously quite rigid, and they organize themselves uniformly in rows. And you can see some, if you look closely, some nuclei have been stained. Not as many as I'd like, but some nuclei have been stained. Now what you should be able to do is just change to the next lens, okay, which in this case is the 40. Need a steady hand to focus. And turn the light down just ever so slightly because it's a bit bright. Set, now try again. Okay, so you can see the cells there. You can see some stained nuclei. Like I said, not as many as I would like. Okay, so we'll just take it round and round for you. Any bubbles like that at the top, they are excess fluid. And if you see any black lines when you're looking down the microscope, that's usually your eyelashes. Okay, so just be careful of those things. So you're looking for pink bricks in a wall, and you're looking for stained nuclei in the middle of those bricks in the wall. So I was just trying to move it for you. Okay, see if we can see any more nuclei. Now what you want is you want to look to the edges, because normally in the middle you get some of these dark pink colours. That's usually several cells on top of each other, so we haven't isolated a single layer as much as we'd wanted to. So that dark pink area there, that's too many layers. Okay, you might even see them go in different ways. What we want is a nice single layer of cells where you can see some stained nuclei, which we can, and we can see there's something going on. Okay, so this is what you see under a microscope for this. Again, we've got double layers there, more than double, and we've got some air bubbles at the end. Okay, so if you have a look at the photos I posted, there's some photos of what an ideal scenario would look like. So what it would look like when you get the perfect results. So you can use those to do your biological drawings. Remember, biological drawings, single pencil lines, no sketching, no colouring in, no blending with your finger. You can, to show colouring in, you can either do kind of a crosshatch or you can do dots. Okay, so clear biological drawings with the title, any labels, and always the magnification.